So, yeah, we're gonna do this.
I'm going to call the meeting to order.
Oh,
Thank you. We're here at Administrative Meeting for December 17th, 2025. This meeting works much like a planning commission meeting, where I acted as administrative hearing officer on behalf of the planning commission. I will introduce the item, allow staff to present overview of the staff report, have time for the applicant, and then open it up to public comment. And then I will close some comments and make a decision on the item. So we'll just run that way. So we have one item on the agenda today. Thomas Taylor requests conditional use permit to establish a quarters of establishment use in the professional office zone located at 260 Center Street in the Mason neighborhood. And Hannah has the stuff from 7.
Thank you.
we move forward and so, yeah.
Which is better. Don't know about this defined in quarters. I've received a few questions from the public, 4 different calls and emails, all of which started with simply different cross-sectional needs. It is in our code, dormitory style housing is the current group for all our communal dwellings. There listed on the right. Concept of individual rooms with other areas being common, separate from something traditional. It is not transitional housing that is required given elements. However, our code does not have any specific standards or definitions for it beyond that because it is a legacy use. It is a code that has been on Provo codes for a very long time, but was not permitted in any zones until Taylor's sought approval separately spot their early this year. The PO zone where this property is the professional office zone already is not permitted short-term rental or really less than units. But that is
Or
30.
we can't start out with most
I'll try to speak a little more clearly though. The zone does not allow short-term rentals any defined 30 days or less, something like a hotel or someone who would extend for a few weeks. That is not specified in the quarters. That is something that could be added here if we want to strengthen restrictions, but it's already prohibited by the zone. For context, I think I can move right quick back this. Everyone knows where this property is. They are just east of Center Street, former assisted living facility. For the retail residents, the new owners proposed going back to 18 new residents for the rentals. Targeting a demographic of entrepreneurs and professionals. They, of course, were the ones that started business. They found the housing gap with some of their entrepreneurs not really pay a salary in their first few years and want something that offers them independent living while still being affordable within this entrepreneurial sphere. It is also very well situated downtown, very well, very good expensive. 18 residents could have private rooms that's safe and true. 18 parking spaces plus 10 bike parking, so 1 space per tenant. It is again very close to transit bike parking. 3 bathrooms with 5 showers toilets among them. The yard is at about 3.5 tenants per toilet shower. It is not exclusive to students, but as the cannabis mentioned earlier, will be limited to students only, so one students could live there without being violation of the I have slides showing the floor plans, middle areas and bedrooms, as well as parking plan, pre-18 stalls. The previous statement of endpoint, we hadn't worked like to go back to that, is also in step 4. The last time this was heard in the planning commission council decided whether or not to add food quarters as permitted use to the PO zone. They brought up the concerns about having sufficient parking. This is parking standards were not defined for this land use, making sure the restrooms weren't crowded and guaranteeing that it would somehow not become transitional housing. Staff feel that these are, for the most part, addressed, but additional conditions such as specifying no short-term rentals, strengthened these protections, but otherwise previously expressed concerns are met by
Probably staff this time. This the
don't think so. I mean, it's,
That's a name for it.
yes, Thomas Taylor. Summer. One, I think that this was the case when it was before, but we used to host the Freeway Sandbox program, which now is resident over the New Skid building. And they, because of our association with them, we're really our primary but not exclusive target market for the housing there.
This is public hearing. I'll open it up to the public, and if anyone wants to comment, please raise your hand. State your name. We got 2 minutes to provide any additional.
I'm sorry, I'm the one who makes her representative from Iowa, last year to the file. When we presented this at the planning before, there had been a lot of comment. There was a lot of concerns were taken care of by these meetings. So we appreciate that change over that. There have been some people who are very good from transitory housing. And that's why we're trying to was something that we were very interested in. And there was an issue where we thought that might spread like by having an initial use permit on just property. That seems to be with that. We did have some people who were very much in favor of finding other ways of housing. So people, we realized that, especially like you're talking about the sandbox being business startups, when you're trying to start a business, very expensive, and so we understand why there may be a market for this type of living at this point in time. And we hope that it turns out very successful. I have 1.5 block from my other neighbors, less than a block away.
My name is Tom Stillerson, and what is the price range on?
So you can ask questions for them. We can see if that test those out.
Oh, well, we're just concerned that it's going to be a transient motel. We've got enough of those around transient apartments that are city uses in the neighborhood. And we have a lot of public services in the neighborhood where there's, AA meetings, people walking through town, we have county jail dropping people off in our neighborhood. And so we don't want this to be another social experiment where it drags down the neighborhood. Working hard to build up a neighborhood and beautiful. And that's why we're concerned with this. We don't want this to be something we carry out in the neighborhood.
I guess I'll ask that you have a price behind process.
I don't think we have a set price in mind, but we're targeting people who are price sensitive, and so we're, students. It would be equal to a private room in a normal apartment. So, it's 500-600 per room, something like that. And this addressing because, I have a son who lives a block away or through the block from this. I'm buying on that home, so I have an investment in the neighborhood already. And we have no interest in owning transient housing.
Seeing no other comment, I will close this item. Please go back to the sitting. So I have reviewed the staff report, noting that this is a conditional use, so they met criteria for the use in the PO zone. I am inclined to approve this, but would place 2 conditions on the permit that we follow that use. One is that the written contract should be a minimum of 60 days. The short term, and we probably found that's been concerned. And then that the rooms may be occupied by one. If you're agreeable to those conditions.
I feel like we already agreed. That's
Okay.
yes.
So with those conditions, I approve. Homestead request for conditions met, respect to quarters, residential use in the field zone, located at 2.6. That is our only item. So everyone else. Adjourn. Thank you all.